field, so there's lots of headlands to plot, but also there are so many contours and the big inlets and just the tree line and everything else. It just couldn't cope. We just crashed to desktop. So yeah, not a thing I'm playing with right now. So I have to make do with. I think that was the right way, because I can end up there and turn the engine off. Okay, back to Bailey. But yeah, I can. It's just too much hard work. So, and yeah, base game helpers, they're better than they used to be. They can do a lot more things. They can't do this job, unfortunately. But yeah, they get most of the jobs done. With courseplay, I would probably end up using. Well, I could follow the track. No, I can't follow the track. I could set up a course with a windrower, and then copy that generated course onto the baler. And once all the rows had been done, I could just send out the baler to on the same track, and it would pick up everything. And it's absolutely glorious. And it may be that courseplay has been updated. I know this map has been updated, so there is the potential. And a couple of the fields got split. They had some big fields with lots of indents. And I think the workers had problems with those. So they split those fields up. So where there was one, there is now two. And they're a lot simpler. Now, the issue with that was technically you needed a new game save. Well, I didn't, because I was like 3 years into the map. We're now on year 5. I was 3 years in, and it was just, I don't want to have to reset the map completely or do shenanigans to copy the game files across to a new game save on the new map, because all of them cause problems. So I just decided eventually I'm going to ignore the advice of the map maker, and I'm just going to play on the new map with the old game save. So a couple of fields got renumbered. So I ended up with a field that I didn't actually own, and I ended up losing 2 fields that I did actually own. So I did cheat some money in using the Real Developer Toolkit, the Easy Developer Toolkit, and basically did the cheated in the money so I could have my fields back, and cheated out the money so that I could keep the field that I'd been gifted for free. So that's kind of all what happened. But the edges of some of the fields have been replotted, and so there are issues with how some of the fields get planted and what have you. And the way to fix that is just to do a perimeter plow with the create fields on, and that will give you a whole a corrected field. So I think if I jump out and run over here, I think this is one of the fields that has. No, that's good. Okay. But as I was saying, with this field, you can see where I've harvested and there's the stubble because grain was there, but then you've got this area here which looks like it's part of the field, used to be part of the field, so if you've done soil analysis it registers as part of the field, but you can't do anything with it because game wise it's not considered to be part of the field anymore. See, now here I can just drive down this tram line and we're being realistic, sort of, kind of, for the most part. And then we'll turn around this way. Go find the harvester. Where is the harvester? Over there. I might run up a tram line here too. How's about this one? Oh, that's a good guess. It's exactly the one I wanted to be driving down. So anyway, so yes, I do need, at least on some of my fields, I'm going to have to, once I've harvested them, I'm going to have to just do a perimeter. And it's manual, and you have to use a plough, and you have to create fields. I don't have the create fields on cultivation, which probably would make it easier, but I don't need a big plough. And I don't need a big tractor to haul the plough that I have. Good. You're still there, you're emptying, you'll keep going. You're not full. I think it's three grain carts to the truck. So we can keep going here. We'll run round once the harvester's 8% done. Going to have to empty it again. And then we'll have to empty the grain cart into the truck. And then we can do, 2 more empties of the harvester. Then we'll need to drive to town and empty the truck. So I won't be able to do other tasks while that's happening. Anyway, and of course we do need to get all of this wrapped today before nightfall, because then I can sell it on June 4. It's a little bit odd. I think you're supposed to ferment silage for a day. Because I'm playing 4 days to the month, it should, by that math, take 4 game days to complete the month and get the fermenting done. But the fermenting only takes 3 days on a 4-day month, which is good because it means I'll get the income in June. And I do this with round bales because the round bale carrier is capable of transporting 24 bales, whereas the square bale carrier I have access to, does 12, maybe 16, so less. And that's less by volume as well. So while using a round baler is somewhat of a pain, square baler you just drive and bales fall out the back and it's really nice and easy. But round balers, you have to keep stopping. You know what? I think if I do that and then turn around, I might. I don't know. I might be able to get that blob there. No, missed a bit. Yeah, it's been a while since we did any grass work on camera. I was a little bit surprised by the huge harvesting contract, so that's just too good to pass up. once all this is done, we're going to have to run around and wrap everything, which is going to take a while, but we're okay for that. All right, that is Cameo. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. Hey, awesome news with my back. So I had to cancel the appointment on the 21st because we had accumulated a foot of snow outside the house that week. And the snow trucks went through half an hour before my scheduled appointment, but I'd already rescheduled it by that point. And then, so I rescheduled it to this week, Wednesday. And this week, we've had no snow. Well, we've had snow. It's like a light shower. And it might be a light shower all day, but it really is less than 1/10 of an inch total. So that's all awesome. So anyway, went to see the doctor and decided on a, steroid shot in my back, which does help with the pain. So, and it's fairly quick acting. It takes less than 2 weeks to make things a little less painful. But she also said we could talk about surgery, but I have to go and see the surgical team. And if I didn't get to see my doctor this week, it would have been April before I could see her. So that's the entirety of February, the entirety of May. So yeah, that's not working. And so, yes, I would like to speak to the surgical team. She also has another injection option, which needs a consult with a different team. So I could do that, but again, it's a consult with a different team, and it might be April before I get to see them. And I kind of need the pain dealt with right now. The steroid injection is good for a couple of months. So that should get me to a point where I can get some consults in before I'm back in pain. But I fully expect to be back in pain. So we can consult with them and see if anything's better. She then says, so we'll do the steroid injection. Let's see when we can do it. And she looked up and said, I have had a ton of cancellations for Friday this week. Are you free on Friday? So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I can be. So I went in and had a couple of Julius Caesar in the Senate deals going on, and so I'm not allowed to bend over, I'm not allowed to lift things for a couple of days, and then within the next 2 weeks I should be relatively pain-free for a few months. So not complaining about that. It's really nice. I got in to see everybody, or I got in to see my doctor, like everything got done this week, which was just plain awesome. Okay, let's go find the harvester again. Might do a naughty and just drive across the field. Don't know where he is right now. Got to be somewhere over here. Oh, there he is. So that's all good. Yeah, I don't have the out of power thing going on here. We are now... Hang on a minute. Let me do that. And... Submit report, block this user, close, by. Okay, so yes, we had all that going on, and So that was kind of awesome. Yes, power issues. We do not have power issues. We have a whole house natural gas generator. So when the power goes out, the computers don't go out because they're all plugged into UPS batteries, which have about an hour's worth of power. And then, it takes about 3 minutes for the power, the generator to kick in. And then that's all wonderful. So no more issues with power, which is another good thing because my work has given me a PC, but they have not given me a UPS power system to plug it into. So when we have a power outage, that PC crashes. I had to have it replaced one time because it crashed rather hard and wrecked the hard drive. But, you know how it is. I did suggest that maybe they, given the problems we were having with power outages every few months, just because of wind and what have you, I did suggest that it might be a good idea to have a battery to plug it into, but they never took me up on that. So they just have to live with, when our power goes out, it goes out hard, and your PC is not protected too well from that. I mean, it's protected from surges, but when the power goes out, that can wreck the hard drive, and did. So you're taking that risk, but right now I need the PC upgrade because they want everybody on Windows 11, and unfortunately, the PC they've given me doesn't do that thing. So I need a new PC, but they haven't got around to giving me one, and nobody's contacted me to tell me when they want it done by, and carry on using the one I'm using for now. But yeah, it got stupid. We had, I think the first couple of years we moved in, we had power lines down because of wind, because of trees, because of people crashing into power poles, and 2 or 3 events a year. And that's frustrating. It didn't take them long to get the power back up, but it's enough to be annoying. You are not full. That's good. You are empty. Let's go. So we finally made the decision. We got a big gift from my parents because I'm almost at retirement age. So my parents are well beyond retirement age, and they're kind of looking to donate the money that they have that they don't need to their children so that the English government doesn't take 75% of it, or whatever they're planning to do when people die. So, plus it's also awkward for me to deal with them because I live in America, and I would probably need to go to England to deal with closing the estate, and that's just not something I can really consider doing, especially not with back issues. An 11-hour flight. So they sent me some money, and we looked around and we said, okay, let's just do something useful with this money. Let's buy a generator. Now, it's under $10,000 to get it all installed and running. So not a bad deal, and it runs the entire house, including the air conditioning. So, yay, that's good. And then I think we got that installed about 3 years ago. So 22, summer. And since then, the power has never gone out. Nobody's crashed into a power pole, no trees has fallen on the lines or anything else. I think part of the problem we had was we're on a side street. The main street through the area had trees all the way up to the road edge, and the power lines ran along the same line. And so we used to get those trees were just horrible, decrepit trees and kept falling on the power lines and taking them down. So I think the year we got our generator installed, a couple of weeks later, the arborists came through and chopped the trees back like 10 feet. So there's a huge, just sort of grass bush area with no trees anywhere close to the power lines. And it's so funny, we even got a text message from the power company to say, oh, we understand your power's out and we'll be restoring it in about 10 hours. And it's like, hang on a minute, looked out the window, no, everybody else's power's on as well. Looked out the back window, no, generator's not running. So, and then looked up their map, and it's like, yes, everywhere around where we live, the power is out. Our one street, or actually two parallel streets, still had power. So sort of, yeah, okay. That was amusing. Yeah, we sort of install a generator. You will never be out of power ever again. Even if you never ever use the generator. It seems to have this magic effect of removing all of the random events on mains power going down. At least in my experience, I just find that amusing. I think the generator cost about $7,500 in all. It depends how big a house you have and what you're running on it. Yeah, that was just brilliant. And then this year we got solar panels installed, which don't work when the power's out. They also don't work when there's a foot of snow on them. So we've not generated too much power since they were installed. I think this month we've effectively produced 2.5 days of power that we used during January. For December, I think we got about 10 days of power. So we're still paying for electricity because we haven't built up a cushion on that. But come spring, we should be producing serious amounts of excess power. Less so in summer because air conditioning. And then it'll ramp back up in fall because you don't use air conditioning. And then during the winter, it really depends on how much snow we get. Obviously, the days are shorter. On a good day, we can't quite generate the power we use during a winter day. I think our best day was 17 kilowatts hours, and we use about 20 in a day. So 75% of what we use was generated in a single day when there's no snow on the panels. And it's not necessarily super sunny either. But you build up the credit during the spring and the fall, and that should see you through the winter, because any excess is sold back to the power company at a very low rate, and then we draw back when the panels aren't using, and they charge us more for the power we use. But it still, balances out that we're generating so much more that it covers the cost of the little amount of power we use at night time. And I'm just going to ram into that bale, because why not? What is going on? Haven't heard from the harvester lately. Yeah, it's almost done. Oh, we're at 11%, so we're going through. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to bounce back out there shortly. Should get a few more rows baled. Once we're baled, we can drop this back in the shed. We'll get the wrapper, and we'll wrap these, and then we'll be done for grass work for now. I might need to pull that first bale off the, give it to the sheeps, because sheeps eat grass. Nobody else does, but sheeps eat grass. Oh, cows eat grass, but grass sucks. Don't feed cows grass. They don't do well on it. I think they don't grow babies and they don't produce milk.